efficiency, okay? That's your number one priority when you're rowing, is not just going for broke and trying to burn as many calories. It's about being efficient. And with that, you're gonna be able to do more, you'll get more out of each performance. Anyone know why we row?
Full body workout?
Yes, very, very close to a full body workout. 84% of the muscles in your body are engaged if you're doing it properly.
Okay.
Yeah, good answer, Steph. Anyone else? Yeah, so the reason why we do it, just like Steph said, it's tons of muscles in the body are going on. It's like a deadlift. It's very, very similar to a deadlift. It's very, very effective when done properly. So yeah, up to 84% of the muscles in your body are engaged when done properly. Stick with 3 to 5. Crush your numbers, make sure your form's on point, and then if you want to, for personal preference, you can adjust that down for a second. Okay, so next is the foot plates here, my friends. The straps, you want to get them to go across the widest part of your foot. So if you don't know your numbers already, may or may not, now's a chance to experiment with that. Me personally, I definitely prefer to have the strap a little bit more towards the anchor, so that'll have the lower number in terms of setting. So you can experiment with that today as well. If you're always just habitually using the same setting, this is an invitation to try something new if you want to. Otherwise, just across the widest part of the foot, the ball of the foot, and nice and tight. This is where I want you to start every stroke, and it's where I want you to finish every stroke. So just watch me for a quick sec. What that's gonna look like is heels are up or down, doesn't matter too much. We'll talk about that later. But the arms are outstretched, the lower back is lifted out of the hips. Literally visualize those lumbar vertebrae being lifted, and then slight pinch in the shoulder blades, chest and head is up. This is your set position. This is where every single stroke starts. This is where every single stroke is going to end. The 3 components are your order, your power, and your timing. Okay? So let's look at the order. The order, you've heard this before: legs, core, arms. Arms, core, legs. Legs, core, arms. Arms, core, legs. Now that is, I know it's kind of basic and so it's kind of simple, but if you just repeat that to yourself as you're rowing, you won't even have to think about it anymore. Because one of the number one issues with rowing form and efficiency is when the order is off. Because that's going to affect your power distribution, it's going to affect your timing, it's going to affect your ability to actually row efficiently. So just always remember, tattoo it on your arm. That helps. Legs, core, arms, core, legs. And yeah, eventually, like I said, you don't have to think about it. So we're gonna do some isolation drills for that, breaking down the legs, breaking down the core, and breaking down the arms. And that's the part that's gonna feel a little bit weird because we're not gonna be doing full strokes. I'll show you in a second here. Now the second component is gonna be your power distribution. Who knows which body part should be generating the majority of your power output? Yep. So, I'm not trying to trick you. So, 60% legs, most of the effort coming from the lower body. That's where the largest muscle groups are. So a lot of people think rowing, you're pulling. Think about it more like a pushing movement, way more like a push than a pull. That's gonna be 20% core, hinging of the hips, and then only 20% with the arms, okay? So a lot of the times you'll see people they'll have it backwards and kind of like, they're putting like 60 in the arms and they wonder why their shoulders and neck is so tired and sore is because they're smaller muscle groups and they're not designed to be putting that much power out. So focusing on the legs. The same thing, we'll break that down as well as some isolation drills. Then the last part, timing. And I know we talk about this, we rally out you guys over the mic all the time. Different timings for the different intensities. So basically though, don't rush. Don't rush. Think in terms of 2 phases. Work, recover. Work, recover. Just like with the bicep curl. Working, not really recovering, but lifting, lowering. Same thing with your row. So with the recovery and the tempo, it's just a 1 to 2 count. 1 count back, 2 counts forward. Then the sprint is that 1 to 1, 1, 1. And that's where we'll keep the heels down on the plates so you can limit your range of motion and actually get that really metronomic 1, 1, 1, 1. And then the power, who knows what it is?
1 back. See,
1, 3.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was 1, 2 at first, and all of a sudden I started hearing 1, 3. So I'm
Tempo and recovery,
okay.
1, 2. Power, 1 to 3. Yeah, you got it. Back to the order. We're gonna work the legs, we're gonna work the core. We're not really work, we're just gonna kind of get the body used to moving with them. So starting with our set position, I'm just gonna demo for you here. So arms are lengthened, and we're just gonna go for 10 strokes using just the legs. So notice how I'm not hinging at the hips, I'm not pulling with the arms. I'm isolating just the lower body. Making sure I'm not hyperextending the knees, not popping them, keeping that little bit of a bend. So we're gonna do 10 strokes with just the legs here. You guys ready for that? Yeah. That's gonna be really, really tricky because the body's gonna wanna do this just like we're used to. So keep the arms outstretched, chest and head up, and we're just gonna use the loop into the core, hinging at the hips. And this is where rowing is really similar to deadlifting. We're really, really, really gonna hinge on that hip hinge. So legs are straight, just like we've been doing. Arms are gonna stay straight as well. Lower back's lifted. We're just gonna practice 10 strokes using just the core. So once again, arms are not, you're gonna wanna do this, but we're not gonna use the arms. This is slightly forward, slightly back. If we're to think of a clock face, think 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Don't round the back to get forward more. Last thing you wanna do, and you don't have to lay down either, okay? So slightly forward, slightly back. Slightly forward, slightly back. Gonna be the arms, legs are gonna be outstretched, and we're gonna be slightly leaning back. Now what you should be feeling here is core engagement, right? So what we want to avoid is the rounding. We want to keep the lower back lifted, chest and head is nice and tall, and we're just going to go for 10 strokes using just the arms. Now when you pull, think about pulling back and down as opposed to pulling up. If you're feeling it rowing in the neck, then you're doing it wrong. So keep the paddle between the sternum and the belly button, and if you're wearing a heart rate monitor during the session, then obviously keep it below the heart rate monitor. Those are legs, core, arms, arms, core, legs. Legs, core, arms, arms, core, legs. Anytime you're ready, your legs, core, arms, and then arms, core, legs. So go slow, don't rush. There's no point in rushing. Arms come back first. Say it in your head. Say to yourself, legs, core, arms. Arms, core, legs. So watch that order there, Savannah. Legs, core, arms. Arms. So before anything else moves, yeah. Legs, core, arms. Arms, core, legs. So what that's gonna look like is same deal. Arms are outstretched, using just the legs. We bring a little bit more intensity into it. Always coming back to the set position, rowing for 50 meters. Don't have to do a countdown because you can't even do a countdown for 50, minimum is 100. And then second, doing your 10 strokes using just the core, and then 10 strokes using just the arms, pop, 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 pop. And then, or no, sorry, not 10 strokes, 50 meters. And then we'll put it all together. Legs, core, arms, core, legs. Putting most of the effort into the legs. Think like a jump squat when you shoot it back. And one count doesn't mean 1 second. It doesn't have to be 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It could be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So drive it back. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Do is maintain that 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's going to look like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Still keeping the same kind of form. Still keeping the lower back lifted. We're just moving faster. Okay. So we're going to start out with a slower speed, like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Keep the heels down. Exhale back. Inhale forward in 3, 2, 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Moves are power timing. Stefan, you're not allowed to say it. Yeah, you got it. So this is my favorite. This is actually my favorite. Because what we're going to focus on is a big leg drive back and then a really slow controlled recovery on the way back forward. What that's going to look like is 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. A lot of times you'll see people rushing to get back to the front. It's a waste of your energy. You don't get any meters. Just don't do it. Work and then recover. So we're exhaling, big leg drive, and then inhaling as you come back. That's yourself getting ready for your next stroke. So I got a really, really good trick to force you guys to slow your return and to limit how far back you're going. Because one of the things that happen right quick, what happens too, if you're coming too far back and you're having to hook into those straps around the foot, that's not good. Because the feet, like if you were to row with no straps, the feet should still be able to stay down without you doing that, okay? So that's actually what we're gonna do here in a little bit. I'm gonna get to take your feet out of the straps, you're gonna go strapless, and it's gonna force you to row a little bit differently. But for now, we're gonna keep the feet in, so we can all practice that timing together. And what I want you to think about too is a little pause at the back. So explode back and hold, then recover. Explode back, and then recover. Good? Okay, so set position, ladies and gentle, step in, chest and head up. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, inhale nice and slow. 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 Chest and head stay up. Man, you guys are rocking this. So this is efficiency, ladies and gentlemen. Driving it back, then recovering.